One. Good evening, everybody.
Oh, hi everyone. How's it going?
What is the hot guest?
I know that Mike and Allie have been here since like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Just
Uh,
chatting with each other?
just hanging out. Mike was
Had I
cooking
known.
French bread pizza, which sounds amazing.
So
Um,
good.
yeah. So, hi everybody.
Hi, what's going on?
Kathleen, you sound like
Beth,
you're on a different planet. You sound like you're like
I
you sound
sound
like
like I'm gonna.
yeah, you sound like
Really?
you're sort of like echoing from another planet.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I will fix that.
That's okay. Does everyone else hear that or is it just me? It might just be me.
Let us
If
know how we sound. So right before we logged in today, I was finishing up some food. Got some Indian takeout last night because that's our annual Valentine's Day tradition.
That's really
Eat
nice.
Indian food until we hate ourselves because we're so full in our crappiest sweats and go to bed and don't touch each other.
That sounds like a really lovely Valentine's Day. You're getting some amazing hair compliments, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's because I'm so hip because I'm wearing earrings. And then I decided to pull pieces out in front of my face because it's the 90s.
Let's see. Susan says, I hear Kathleen fine. Bethany sounds far away.
Oh,
I don't know if I can fix that. Let's see if I can. Let's try something.
just put the microphone between your bosom, Bethany.
Well, unfortunately, the microphone is attached to my computer, so I can't. But
um, Let me tell you, you know how you and I are obsessed with that company, Umbra? Because they make all sorts of like hooks and curtain things and receptacles for your house that makes everything easier to be organized.
yeah,
Well, I found something very Umbra-like, but they sell it on Amazon, not Umbra. It is, and I don't know about you, but does anybody else have this problem where you have so many little bottles of like lotions and serums and all sorts of stuff, and it just becomes like a muck of a mess on your countertop? Okay, Bethany's
yes.
laughing because it's definitely just only me. um, and it's a plastic tower, but like really clear plastic. You know, that very high quality plastic where it's not opaque. It's very clear, and it spins. It's got three levels, and you put your little bottles in it, and then you spin it, and you can get whatever you want. You just keep spinning it, and you're like, oh, my vitamin C serum is in the back. Spin it, and then you have all of your nighttime stuff. Spin it, all of your morning stuff. It's insane. I love it.
That's amazing. So it's like a big old lazy Susan, like a super tall lazy Susan.
Yeah, a layered lazy Susan for beauty products.
Amazing. That sounds
Yes.
wonderful. So people say they lost me. I don't know what's going on. Um,
I still have you.
okay.
Lauren says, and you try to tell yourself to use everything before you get new stuff. Yes. But then you don't want to use what you already have. Yes, yes, yes. 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 Mm-hmm.
Is my video gone? I think I'm gone.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang up and
Yes. Hang up and I'll invite you back up. All right, everybody. So, does anybody have any hard hitting topics that they need to hit? Write us in the comments right now while I invite Bethany back up onto screen. Or if anybody wants to come up to share a story with us, just raise your hand. Give me a little holla. Okay. All right, and you back.
That. And how's the sound? Sorry, guys. Sorry that technology is such a problem with crowd.
Yeah, you sound good now. I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Oh.
We had a question. Yeah, we had a question from Allie. What is your opinion on McDonald's Shamrock Shake?
You go first, B.
I am pro. I think they're wonderful. I think it's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I love the mint flavor, so I'm all about it. What about you, Kathleen?
I am also pro. I have to say strawberry is my number one because that's Carrie Bradshaw's number one flavor of McDonald's shakes also. But I'm pro, but some people think it tastes like toothpaste, and I get that.
Oh, okay. Sylvia
Yeah.
says it's very problematic.
Your sound?
No, the Shamrock Shake, I think.
Oh. Yeah, sound is definitely better. Sylvia, why is it problematic? I would like to. I'm going to invite Sylvia if you want to come up. And who was the first person that talked about Shamrock shakes? I want to hear you guys
Allie.
battle it.
Allie.
Allie. All right.
Allie.
Okay, Sylvia, you're invited.
Okay, we're here with my system preferences trying to figure out input volume. So
Yeah, no
please
problem.
know how it's setting.
Okay. Here's the thing about a McDonald's shake is that they're not overly sweet and they're not
Okay.
overly thick. So you kind of get like that sweet craving, but if you're thirsty, it also hits that. Hey all. Welcome to the pod, the live pod.
Salutations.
So, Allie, you are pro Shamrock Shake, and Sylvia, you're anti Shamrock Shake.
Boo to Shamrock Shake. Okay, let's start with Allie. Let's start with you since you are the instigator
Yes,
of the
okay.
topic. What are your
So
thoughts?
here's the deal. I know that like everybody's like, oh, it's just like drinking toothpaste. And I see Mike in the comments said that as well. I disagree because it's a vanilla ice cream base. So it's not pure mint. So you still get some vanilla action in there. And like, could I drink a large one? No. One, because I'm kind of lactose intolerant. And two, I think it would be too much. But like a small, like that's okay. I think it's delicious and refreshing.
Okay, so okay.
Okay.
I'm okay. This is good. No, this is good. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Good. I like your point. Sylvia, you have a
Yes.
counterpoint.
All right, so toothpaste. Have you seen the green and the white swirly thing? It's the same shit. It's vanilla and mint in a tube. It's like a Shamrock Shake in a tube. It's the same shit.
Totally different. Totally different. Okay.
Try toothpaste with water and ice. Put it in the blender. It's the same thing.
But there's vanilla and milk.
Mm-hmm.
That was very
mint
Italian. of
mint
me.
should only go on toothpaste and gum. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
You don't like mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Wow.
Wow.
Mint cookies, anything mint at all besides
So
toothpaste.
what about Thin Mints, the Girl Scout cookie
Oh.
classic?
Gross. The ones that give you Olive Garden, those shit. No.
Wow. Oh, that's okay. I
All
feel
right,
yeah. Lauren
okay.
asked, who hurt you, Sylvia? When
Yeah.
did this happen to you?
Oh, that's a loaded question. But
Too many people.
it meant like it's like, why would you want to put something refreshing and then let's put garlic and mint together? Like that makes no sense.
But the mint
Mint
is
is
the
supposed to be-
refreshing part.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
nice.
Yeah. And it always
Gross, screw you.
and you know what? Here's the thing about mint. It hits you in the back of your palate. It's kind of like the last thing you taste, and sometimes it's a surprise when it's inside of a salad. You're like, oh, this is a great salad.
No. I
Is
don't like
that
mint.
mint? What?
No. No, I want my mint.
I
If
do-
I'm going to have mint, I want it to be a loner with chocolate. That's it. I don't want it in a salad. I don't want it. It needs to be a loner with one friend, but it can't be with it can't. It's not good with more. It's not good with people.
My cat's joining us.
I agree.
she likes
No,
the
I
Shamrock
don't
fruit.
agree. No, mint should only
With
go
mint.
with mint.
Okay. But what about a mojito? You don't drink mojitos?
I'm okay with that because it's itself. It's a plant. It's a plant itself. But don't wrap a piece of chocolate on a mint
All
leaf.
right.
That's just
I think maybe we should call this, as Lynn pointed out, this argument is an acquired taste. Battle of an acquired taste.
Hey.
Look at that.
Yeah. Thanks,
what's your
ladies.
cat's name? What's your cat's name, really quickly?
Her name is Kitty.
Hi, Kitty.
And
She's
she-
sleepy.
She just doesn't understand what personal space is. But
Oh.
Okay.
Hi, little baby. Hi. All right, ladies. Thanks for coming up and battling it out. Appreciate.
Sylvia, I respect your opinion, and I think you have great hair.
Oh, that's so nice. By the way, Tatiana said,
wow.
"A loner with one friend" will be the title of my autobiography if Bethany allows it. Absolutely, it's yours. You can have it. Kathleen, did you hear
Yeah.
the news today
No.
that This is from New York Daily News that they're putting together a task force to try and catch the Long Island serial killer.
Wait, there's a serial killer in Long Island right now?
Is it Gilgo Beach? The Gilgo Beach homicide?
Gilgo Beach homicide.
So this is from today, New York Daily News. Suffolk County's newest police commissioner has put together a dream team of detectives to solve a long-stalled Gilgo Beach serial killing case. So they're putting together like forces, FBI, New York State Police, Suffolk County Police Department, Homicide Squad, Suffolk County District Attorney's Office, and the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office. They're going to go through all of the remains, take a fresh look at the evidence collected between Manorville and Hempstead beginning in 2011.
Oh my God.
They're saying it's possible that the killer has ties to law enforcement.
When it's law enforcement, it makes it so hard to solve because they know exactly police protocols and they're always thinking a step ahead.
Megan said they happened a while ago, but still unsolved, and sketch that it's unsolved. The remains of nearly a dozen people, mostly sex workers, were unearthed a decade ago near Gilgo Beach. At about the same time, disgraced Suffolk County Police Chief James Burke was accused of beating Christopher Loeb, who had stolen a duffel bag from Burke's SUV. I remember hearing about that. And then he had some like shady stuff that he did. He was running the department when the homicide squad cut ties with the FBI, which was assisting in the serial killer probe. And then he served nearly 4 years in jail after pleading guilty to charges that he violated Loeb's civil rights, but he has never been linked to the Gilgo Beach killings.
Link that motherfucker.
That's crazy. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that.
People are saying, yes, of course, there's always a serial killer in Long Island. Ellie said that. Angela says, dun dun.
Megan says Unraveled did a really good podcast series on it. Yeah, so maybe Fresh Blood will take a look, maybe people who aren't afraid of the police chief or whatever the situation was before will have something to say.
Nothing exciting like that ever happens in Hoboken. You know the most exciting thing to happen in Hoboken lately?
What? New cannolis?
There's a girl kicked out of a bar. She then proceeded to call the bar and leave a voice message that's like, I've been going to your bar for 10 years. How dare you kick me out? And went on and on. The bar literally took a video of their answering machine, like got her whole message and put it on social and was like, we kicked you out because you were soliciting for sex and drugs, not because like we don't like you.
Wait, what's the name of the bar?
It's the ale, let's see, Hoboken Ale House. It's the Ale House. And people on Reddit figured out what her voice, like they knew her voice and they were putting her real name in the chain.
Hoboken Ale House, you said?
Yeah, yes.
Let's find it. Let's see.
We should play it right on this pod.
Yeah, I'm sure. Did they put it on Instagram? Where'd they put it? TikTok?
Yeah, they did. I'm going to pull it up right now. Hoboken Ale House. Have you ever called anybody drunk absolutely screaming at them?
I've called people drunk. I have not been. I'm not like an angry drunk.
Yeah.
So I tend to call and either tell secrets or just tell people how much I love them.
I text drunk a lot. I think they took it off their page. That's too bad.
Oh, that's too bad. I mean, she's probably mortified.
Yeah.
That's the worst when you sober up and you realize you did something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Aubrey. Eyebrows. Grown them in. I'm a sleepy drunk too. I fall asleep. I tell secrets, I get lovey, and I fall asleep.
Yeah. I like get antsy and I'm like, ugh, I don't know. Like, you know that feeling? You're like, I want to do something, but I don't know what I want to do. And I'm just like, ugh, what am I going to do? That's
when you're drunk, you get like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're like what people do when they're on like meth. Mm-hmm. Like they want to clean everything.
Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, so Hannah says, I'm a couple episodes behind on the pod, but just heard about the upcoming book club, and I'm really looking forward to that. Yes.
Yes.
Book club's coming up.
Bethany, I realized that we prematurely gave out some details that we needed to like hammer out more. It's like,
I mean, we thought
Yeah.
it was good, but got some feedback, so we're gonna do something else.
We're working on it. We're gonna announce the official and final levels very soon. We just heard back on the last piece of information that we needed to know today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Allie is very excited. The other thing I saw today is there was an article about who in here is a Burger King fan?
God, I haven't been to Burger King in forever.
Now, I haven't either, but apparently Burger King is doing a lot to mess with your head.
Oh, great.
So this is from mashed.com, and it's how Burger King is tricking you into eating there.
Oh.
One of the things is that they play to your nostalgia.
Uh-huh.
So at the start of last year, CNN reported that Burger King was revamping its image for the first time in 20 years and was going with a more retro look, like a more simplified logo, retro look. And apparently they used this older logo from 1969 to the 1990s, and when people get nostalgic, it's such a good feeling that it makes you want to go there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The fact that they offer onion rings is apparently a thing, but because most fast food places don't offer onion rings.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, the problem is that Burger King doesn't put whole onion slices in their onion rings. It's just a breaded ring formed around dehydrated onion paste. And
Ew.
they give you all these dipping sauces, so it hides the fact that you're not really getting much of anything. And the pictures of onion rings look so good, but you're not actually getting
those onion rings. That's terrible. But I agree with the idea that an old-timey logo will definitely bring people in.
Here's the other thing they do.
Yeah.
And I know McDonald's does this too. You can order at a kiosk instead of going up and ordering.
Oh.
And they realize that people will buy more at a kiosk because they don't feel judged versus like giving your order to the person at the counter.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I almost pulled over the other day. I was driving a long distance from somewhere, and I wanted just like a fries and a shake. Okay. And I was like, just do it. And I'm like, no, fight the urge. And I didn't do it, and I regret it because there's nothing more satisfying than just like a little something salty, like a medium fry, and then a small shake, because it's not too much food. You won't feel like bleh after you eat it. You just get a little bit of everything. Man, I should have pulled over.
It's so good. Here's the other thing they do that I hadn't heard of. It's called the left digit effect. Have you heard of this?
No.
So this says, you've probably noticed that the prices for just about everything being sold often end in 95 or 99 cents.
Huh.
The fact that the leftmost digit is still less than the next dollar amount has an enormous impact on your financial decision making. It's called the left digit effect, and it warps our perception of product prices.
Oh.
So because we read from left to right, using a slightly smaller number first in the sequence makes us think we're getting a good deal, even if the price difference is not that much. So like you're going to buy something that's $7.99 more than you'll buy something that's $8.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And if it's $8 and it has free shipping, I will buy that over the thing that was $3 with $2 shipping.
Totally. Man, free shipping. I'll do almost anything with free shipping.
So, you know those plugins for your browsers? We've talked about, one used to sponsor the podcast. Honey is one of them. Yeah. And then Capital One Shopping also has another plugin that I use a lot. And basically what those plugins do is that when you're buying something, if you use those plugins as well and you have a code that isn't already in the system, it like sort of, it's like a sponge. It goes thank you for the code. We will use that now. So I was trying to buy something at Madewell today, and I see employee discount 40% off.
Ooh.
And it was like not a usual code. You know, a usual code will be like, hey, Saturday, or like
Summer
V-Day.
22.
Yeah, exactly. And this was just like all of these weird numbers. And I was like, oh, is this going to go through? Bethany, it went through. I got a 40% discount and free expedited overnight shipping.
Oh my! And Capital One found that?
Capital One. Yeah, Capital One shopping plugin.
There was one time, I love it when that happens.
Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to know about this code. There was one time someone gave me a code and it was like 90% off of this website because like they were trying to get rid of everything, but they didn't want to do a public sale. And so I got, it was like a purse website or something. So I got like 7 purses that were like $500 each for 90% off all of it. And I was like waiting for it to get canceled. I was waiting for someone to email me and be like, it was a mistake. Nope.
Yep. That is precisely what I'm waiting for right now. I'm waiting for Madewell to be like, wait a minute, you don't work for us.
Yeah. Yep. You're not a friend or a family.
No, you're not. My brother-in-law worked for Hertz for like 3 years. 7 years after he had worked there, I was still using his company discount. Like his personal ID discount.
Hannah said, I worked in the mall. Shirts that were 2 for $12 very frequently, they'd go on sale for $5.99 with a red sign, and people would go nuts. Wow. There's no price difference, really.
Yeah.
People lose their minds.
And a lot of time in the supermarket, it'll be like 2 for $5. But what people don't know is you can just buy one for $2.50. You don't have to buy 2 for $5.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And yesterday, I went to CVS over the weekend, and they had those... what are they? Reese's peanut butter cup eggs. That eggs now, and they were buy 5 get 5 free. And I was like, this is the best reason ever to have a CVS rewards card.
Yes,
I love it.
But you know the CVS hack: you buy one small thing, check out, let the thing come out, and then it'll give you coupons for the rest of your order.
Yeah,
done.
I also love that they have the coupon kiosk. So you could just like type in your phone number and then you get all the coupons.
Yes. And my mom keeps telling me, she's like, I did you a favor today. I used your phone number at CVS. I'm like, stop using my phone number because it's going to ruin my algorithm. It's going to give me coupons for your fucking old lady shit. And then you're going to get my good coupons printed out for you. Stop using my...
The only time they can use your coupon or your phone number is if you're with them. And then you can receive. I love those coupons. I think I have some with me. Long as because you can get so much good stuff.
There's nothing more heartbreaking than having a really big 30, 25%, 30%, 40% coupon to somewhere that you shop all the time. Oh, $7? Dang.
Yeah. $7 off of any $35 cosmetics, which you know I'm going to buy.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm out of hand and body lotion, so I need this too.
Go buy a whole bucket of e.l.f. camo concealer, the best concealer in the world. It's $5.
Yeah, it's $5.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more heartbreaking when you have a big coupon, a big like half off one item or something, and then you check on it and it's expired, and you know you could have saved so much money using that coupon.
The thing about CVS, going back to CVS, when you get the mailers. Because there's always a big coupon attached, usually 25% off. And that's when you're like, big shopping.
I buy a big thing of toilet paper because that's expensive. Yep.
Brianne said CVS prices are too high anyway, though. The coupon usually equates like Target prices. Yeah, there's just not a Target near me. So CVS is like the closest thing.
If anybody's looking to diversify their stock portfolio... I have stock in CVS, and it has proven to be a little bit lucrative. Since I invested probably about a year ago, I have earned $189.
Well done! Look at you!
Which is basically what I spend there in one trip.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I wanted to read... who said, was it Hannah that has, no, Amanda. I work for a hospital university and have an EDU email address, and it's been wonderful for discounts.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Bethany and I were just having this conversation the other day.
About what?
About Adobe and how
Yeah.
I had an EDU account because I was taking continuing education classes at NYU. And so I was using that to get a huge, like a $200 discount a year on Adobe. And Adobe's like, we don't think you're a student anymore. It's going to go up. And I was like, no, I'm still a student. And then they send me to this portal where I'm supposed to upload like my transcripts and my documents.
Oh no, what are you going to do?
I'm just going to have to pay the full price. That is like the stupidest form of fraud. It's like if I'm going to get caught for fraud, it's going to be like big time, not like my
Yeah, you have to earn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really want to earn it. Yeah, Adobe. So we need the Adobe suite to do the podcast.
Yeah.
And it's like $56 a month.
Bethany, you need to pay by the year. You save money when you pay for the year.
Yeah, but I don't have that to pay by the year. I don't have a chunk of whatever that is.
Yeah.
$700 some to pay by the year.
Yeah.
So I gotta go monthly. It's too much.
It's bullshit.
Katie said, I forgot about Amazon Student. I'm going to look into that. I work for a university. I have an EDU email. Ugh.
Courtney says you should take a college course in basket weaving so you have an EDU email.
Does Masterclass give you an email?
They don't, unfortunately. Mm-mm. But,
That's
you know,
okay.
I was watching the other day. Okay, do you eat eggplant?
Sure. I mean,
Okay.
like, I don't. Yeah, why not? Sure, I'll eat
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So I was watching Gordon Ramsay. By the way, he has a really charming cooking class on Masterclass when he's not like screaming at everybody.
Does he yell at you and call you a stupid cow?
No, he doesn't. And he's so charming. He was making eggplant. An eggplant, Bethany, do you know that you're supposed to milk an eggplant before you cook it?
What does that mean?
Because eggplant is like this big, very squishy thing. You cut it in half and you pour a shit ton of salt on it, and little water beads literally come up to the surface and all of the eggplant milk comes out, so it's not so watery when you roast it.
Can we call it something like salting the eggplant instead of milking the eggplant? What do we call? Oh, that sounds awful.
He didn't use the term milking the eggplant. That's something I made up because I really like, I think it has like a, I don't know, a je ne sais quoi quality to it.
That sounds, that sounds great. It's great to do it. Sounds awful to say it.
Allie says
Sweat.
you call it sweat. Yeah.
Sweat your eggplant.
No, you milk your eggplant. Milk
Don't
it.
say milk it. No.
Have you ever been shocked by a huge utility bill that came your way and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think every summer because I have my AC pumping nonstop, and I'm like, on the 30th floor of my building.
Yeah.
So it's hot. So it's I think every summer it ends up being like $400. Yep.
Holy Moses, my
What about you?
friend. So I have, I think, once or twice when someone couldn't come to read the meter, and so they were doing estimates, and then all of a sudden they're like, they come and the estimates have been too low. That has happened to me, but it just came out in the news in Hawaii, on the island of Oahu. There is, I guess, what is considered a private street, and like a little cul-de-sac that isn't, I don't know, maintained by the state of Hawaii.
Yeah.
And their street lights started to go off. And so people were calling the electrical company and being like, hey, can someone change the light bulb? Can you check on the street light? Like, it's very dark here at night. You need to change these light bulbs or whatever. The electrical company looked into it, and because it's technically a private street, nobody had been paying the bill on that street for the street lamp, like the street lights. It was just like free electricity. And so everybody that lives on that street got a bill for something like $18,000 that dates back to 1954. They've been for the electricity from 1954 until now.
What do they actually expect anyone to pay that?
I mean,
Because they're paying
don't
for
know.
everyone who's lived on that street before they moved in. You know,
Yeah.
that's insane.
I mean, okay, but even take into account you moved there in the 80s. Now you have to pay for that fucking street. Like, I would say, forget it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna light a torch at night, and then when the torch goes out, we're all shit out of luck.
If you live in the country, there's plenty of
Yeah.
like roads that have no streetlights. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't need streetlights. Screw that. You don't need that. Jess said there should be a statute of limitations for stupid billing. Yes, there should. I mean, those stories come out every once in a while about someone who checked out a library book in like the 90s and didn't return it. Now they owe like $5,000.
I know. And it's like, what book did you check out? And it's like, Myself, My Body or something.
Yeah. Sylvia said, let God take care of it. Yeah, that's the kind of bill you forgot you received.
Yeah.
And just I wouldn't. What are you gonna do? You can't turn off my own electricity, turn off the street, fine. Also, what the hell is a private street?
They have them in New Jersey too, where the state isn't technically obligated to plow. There's one here in Hoboken where it's, I don't know.
Like, okay, I'm gonna look it up because that seems insane. If multiple people live on it, it's not private unless it's like a compound and it's a cult.
So I want to do this thing in my building. And Neil's just like, stay out of building politics, Kathleen. Don't get involved. And I'm like, I can't help it. It's my nature. I want to propose a composting bin in my building.
Ooh.
And we also have a little golf course, like a little greenery golf course thing for putt-putt that nobody uses. And I want to turn that into a community garden. And
where do you live that you have a putting green in your building?
Bethany, I'm telling you, it sounds fancy, but it's literally the most podunk shit you've ever seen. And the only people I ever see using it are kids when they build snowmen on the green. And there's a cat that takes a shit in the hole sometimes.
Wow.
I want to start and maybe like it's cared for by like a handful of people who are good with plants, and maybe there's like we grow tomatoes and everybody in the building gets a share or something, right? You drop tomatoes off at everybody's place or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But is there some sort of board you can join?
I'm going to run for the board and kick off my friend Alex, because every time I tell him I did something against board rules because he's on the board, he goes and he tattles on me.
Like, what have you done that's against board rules?
Well, I wanted to switch out my faucets, and he's like, well, you got to tell the board. I'm like, it's a fucking faucet. I'm not going to tell the board. He's like, I'm on the board. And I'm like, Alex, if you fucking tattle on me. And then I get an email from fucking Jason over at corporate, my HOA corporate, that's like, hey, are you going to change out your faucets? And I'm like, well, everybody leave me alone. It's just a fucking faucet.
You joined a compound. What are they called? A co-op? That's part of the whole deal, is everyone has to sign up on your stuff. That's the part of the whole thing you signed up for when you signed up for a co-op.
My faucet, right? My business.
No, it's literally everyone else's business because you're in a co-op. That's part of co-op.
Biggest mistake of my life, honestly.
Well, yeah, but you're in it now. You have to follow the rules.
Biggest mistake of my life. So now Alex is like, hey, what are you changing? What's going on in the apartment? And I'm like, nothing. I'm not changing anything because I'm not giving you any details. Not moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no way that they will know if you change something as long as you didn't tell them.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't tell your friend.
I can't know. And I'm going to run for the board and make all these changes, and then I won't tell the board my own changes if I'm on the board, you know?
Right. But I think you have to lead by example, right?
Alex is a snitch.
Yeah, Alex is a big snitch.
He is a snitch.
Yeah, I think that's Alex.
He's the vice president.
Also, like, that sounds like the most boring thing, being on a co-op board. Doesn't it sound like one thing you just don't want to have to do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unless you're trying to steal money. It's a good way to funnel money.
So is that why you want to join the co-op board? So you can funnel money?
It's one of the reasons.
Then Lauren made a good point. You can't have Alex over, ever.
No, I know. He was like, let me come take a look at your new hot water heater. I want to see how it turned out. I'm like, yeah, next week. And every time he asks me, I'm like, yeah, next week.
Because you've changed so much about the apartment, and now I wonder how many other rules you broke. What are some of the other co-op rules?
Well, first of all, people, this is so stupid. there was an email sent out to everybody in the building because when it snowed, everybody was leaving their snow boots in the hallway. And we got an angry email from Jason that's like, no snow boots in the hallway.
But they're too wet to bring inside.
No snow boots in the hallway, Bethany. You're not supposed to change out your doorknob. I'm for sure going to do that. And you're not supposed to change out, you're not supposed to have a doormat. Oh no, Bethany, where'd you go?
I'm here. I don't know.
Okay. Alex says, we know how to bury a body. Or Sylvia says, we know how to bury a body.
That's crazy. Why?
Yeah.
I just like, that's insane that everyone's
Yeah.
in your business.
I know, Bethany. I know.
Did you know this when you were buying the place, that this is
Hell
going to
no.
be the case?
Hell no. And sometimes people will leave bikes in their parking spots and we get emails. No bikes in the parking spots.
So when you were like buying the place, did they have a book of rules that you had to follow?
Bethany, I knew nothing. I knew jack shit. I didn't know how to do
Did you know what
anything.
a co-op was?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So
Mm-mm.
that's,
They just,
yeah.
I submitted an application and it's accepted and that's it. But there's a whole
Yeah.
lot of other shit.
Yeah, now you're in a co-op. So
Mhm.
everyone's business is
Yeah.
your business and vice versa.
Susan says Jason has too much power. He does have too much power.
Is he the president?
No, Jason is the one that works for the company that like runs the maintenance on the building,
Okay,
and
gotcha.
he's the one who I sent that email to, like very snarky because I thought he was only sending it to me, but he sent it to the whole building.
About people not picking up their packages?
Yeah, about people not. Yeah, exactly.
It seems like that's a problem still, because you were talking a couple weeks ago how people are still not
hmm
picking up their packages.
There's an espresso package that I'm about to claim as my own. It's been there since September. I don't even have an espresso machine, but can I just open those little packets and mix them with water?
Totally. Yeah, or like throw them into a bigger filter. Whose
Yeah.
apartment is it for? Who hasn't picked it up since September?
I don't know. But I'll tell you, I do know who has shopping problems in this building.
Who's that?
Susan Mothman. Susan Mothman in Unit 512. Oh, she buys everything. So
Is it
many
Mothman
packages.
Prophecies?
She's Susan Mothman. She is an accountant. I looked her up because I was like, damn, what do you do for a living, girl, where you're getting all these packages?
Yeah. Oh, I bet you accountants are important. I bet she makes good money.
Yeah.
Someone else, Jennifer, lives in a co-op too. Jennifer, I want co-op stories because I've heard they're wild. Didn't you have to, Kathleen? Did you have to be interviewed?
No,
before you
we
could
didn't. No.
Okay.
That's the
Lucky.
one thing. Yeah, Miranda on Sex and the City, she met her boyfriend when she was like she was on the board and they were doing the co-op interview, and she met this like really sexy guy who was the doctor for the Knicks. It was a good storyline.
That is the only way I know about co-ops is TV shows. I think 30 Rock. Tina Fey Liz Lemon was trying to like get into this really fancy co-op.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
30 Rock or was it? I think so. And she
Yeah.
like had to be interviewed and like it was like a big deal and really, really scary.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
all own a little piece of the building.
Yeah. Courtney said cryptids notoriously have shopping problems. Yes, they do. The Susan Mothman prophecies, it's all about getting into debt.
Let's see.
I'm just going to try to decide if I should be their friend, says Megan. That's funny. Yeah, if someone's ordering, I don't know, a lot of stuff from like Confederate Flags or Us located in like,
Yeah.
let's kill them all, Texas.
Yeah. or the units that get media packages from really conservative news sources. I'm like, oh, all right.
Jennifer said, I cried after my interview with the board. Why? What happened? What did they say to you and why did they hurt you?
Wait, hang on. Jennifer, I am inviting you up if you're willing to share your story, but no pressure, but I would really like to hear why you cried.
Danielle said, I live in a house but older neighborhood, no HOA. I only have to answer to the city, really. You only have to answer to the mayor who walks around with a big ribbon that says mayor across his chest.
Do you know who your local council person is? Like, does New York City have local district council people, like a neighborhood person? Do you know who that person is?
I know if I saw their name, I'd remember it.
Because I was tweeting about something I was really pissed about in town, and my local council person sent me their telephone number via Twitter message. And then I felt like such an asshole because I was like, obviously, I'm not going to waste this guy's time with my ranting and Twitter raving.
That's yes.
You do?
Yes, I do have one. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to triangulate where I live.
Yeah.
That's funny. I once contacted my local representatives because they were passing a law about whether or not people's images could be used after they were dead. It was like SAG-AFTRA was really invested in how this law turned out. And so SAG-AFTRA sent out this email, like, contact your local reps and, like, say you need to protect our images. And so I contacted my local rep and I emailed him, and now he and I, like, email every once in a while. Like, he emailed back and he was just like, hey, Bethany, like, I really understand. And, like, this is a big deal and I'm totally going to vote against it. And I was like, great, thanks so much. And every once in a while, it's so weird.
But you know what, Bethany, maybe if you hadn't reached out to that person, they would have been like, I don't know. I'm not in SAG-AFTRA. I have no opinions on this. And because they knew that they had a constituent who felt strongly about it, then they voted your way.
And it's crazy when it's really small, like hyper-local politics like that.
Yeah.
Because they have fewer people they're dealing with. And so it is a little weird when they email you.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Or
It
I
totally
had to
is.
send his little intern emailed you. I mean, probably, but still, like, I've contacted, Chuck Schumer before, and I never get an email back from Chuck saying, like, hey.
There's a show midday on WNYC called All of It with Allison Stewart, right? That's her last name?
Yeah.
Stewart. And I tweet them occasionally, and I never get a tweet back. And Bethany, it pisses me off to no end because I will sometimes send them very funny things and nobody responds to me.
It's really upsetting too because it's like multiple times.
Yes.
Like, it's not like they're getting a million tweets.
No, Bethany, if you look up who's tweeted All of It with Allison Stewart, it's just like me 5 times. Like nobody else is sending them tweets.
Do you think their Twitter is like your TikTok in that they have no idea what their password is and they can't get in?
It might be that, but I know they have people dedicated to digital, and so like, why not just respond to me? I'm a huge fan.
Yeah. Can we talk about? Did you see the email, Kathleen, that we got on our listserv that you and I are both members of?
No, did it come through this
afternoon? No, this is like last week.
Oh, no. Refresh my mind.
Someone reached out because they want to put together like a group of people who've all worked in public radio so that they can advise new people who are trying to get into public radio what they're getting into. Did you see this?
No, I didn't. I missed this
And
one.
it's a great idea. They were like, here's the thing. Public radio is such a small world ultimately that if anything bad happens, you don't feel like you have anywhere to go because the world's really small. And so like if someone does something, you're afraid to report it. Yeah. And so they're trying to put together like this group of people who either work in public radio or have in the past where you can like bounce ideas off of or say like so-and-so did this to me and I'm like don't know what to do. Yeah. And I love it because we've heard nightmare stories about like working in public. It just sounds stressful and underpaid, and then every once in a while you hear the same stories as everywhere else about like so-and-so is awful and touches ladies.
And the salaries are notoriously terrible, like terrible. I feel like working for public radio, and I've applied to public radio jobs. I will apply from time to time.
I support in public radio. I give them $10 every month.
Yeah, I bought a hoodie from them, and I think I give them the same $10 every month.
And a tote bag.
Yeah, and a tote bag. Yeah. And I will apply to jobs from time to time there, but when you work there, I feel like it's sort of working at your local hometown newspaper. You do it because you love it, not because it's like, hey, Jennifer.
That only took forever. Hi.
Hi, what's going on?
Not much. Um,
So your interview made you cry for your
Technically,
co-op.
it was after my interview. So I got an email. Oh, can you
Here
hear
you
me
are.
still?
Yeah.
We can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, I'm here. I got an email shortly after my interview went great, in my opinion. But I got an email from my lawyer's office like a few days after saying that they wouldn't accept me unless the price of the apartment was increased by $10,000.
What?
And this was after like going through appraisal, getting my interest rate locked and everything. It was like literally the last step, and
Yeah.
it just like took 6 months after that for me to actually close on the apartment.
Yeah, because basically they're saying you need liquid cash since you've already worked out all of your other
No,
details.
they their issue was that it was priced too low, and because all the people on the board live here, they were afraid that it would kind of like affect if they wanted to sell, which I understand.
Yeah.
But if
But
you're gonna do that at the beginning of the process,
Yeah.
not at the tail end.
the
So
price had actually already been accepted.
yeah. Between me and the seller. The positive thing is that the seller, she was so like desperate to like be done with this that she ended up paying for it. So
Yeah.
I still got the
Great.
place.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
That's
I got that email in my office and I just burst. Mind you, I'm not a crier, and I was just in tears. This poor guy came to me to like sign some paperwork or something. He's like, I'm sorry. And he just like backed away.
Oh my
That
God,
is-
you poor thing.
when you're not prepared to see that many zeros.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a
wow.
process. I put my offer in October. I didn't close till July. It was months and months and months. And yeah, it's a co-op too. So a co-op is like, it's so much work, man.
Did your co-op charge you to move your stuff into the building?
I had to put a deposit, but then they paid it back. Yeah,
Oh.
you have to put it
I
up
didn't
with
get
deposit.
mine back. I had to pay $500 to move into this apartment that I had already purchased.
Holy crap.
And none
Yeah,
of
no,
that, and I didn't know that ahead of time. Like they don't tell you.
I can't believe that's in the house rules for mine. So I will say that they did tell us this information up front.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I was like, you mean this apartment that I literally just spent all my money on, I need to now pay $500 to move in?
Yeah.
I'm laughing so I don't cry.
I'm actually thinking of joining the board just because I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I just want to know. I don't want to go to the board, but I just want to know.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
should join the board. Jennifer, I have to say goodbye to you because you keep going in and out, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer. Megan said, my best friend's younger brother got approved, and then before closing, the co-op demanded like another $20,000 in down payments.
It's, yeah.
What?
It's sneaky, Bethany. I shit you not. Mhm.
I feel like these things shouldn't be allowed. Like, how is that legal?
It's just, it is what it is. And I'm also supposed to put a deposit every time I get something big delivered, like furniture or whatever. And when Jason asks me for like my information, I just don't respond to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jason, my couch is coming this week. And then he's like, okay, what's the certificate of insurance? What's your down payment? And I'm like, nah, I'm not responding.
That's fine. Yeah, I no, that's no. Jennifer, no, don't worry about glitchy, Jennifer. I'm glitching in and out, and I'm co-owner of this podcast, so if you're fine.
I also learned too, sometimes when you're purchasing a house, if your realtor is so desperate to make the sale, they get a certain amount of commission from the seller. So if you're the buyer, you're not paying anybody commission. So if you're desperate to make this sale and you're the real estate agent, you will say to your clients who are the buyers, I will take $5,000, $10,000 out of my commission and give it to you to put down on the price of the house. So you never actually get that money. They just take less from the seller. Does that make sense? As part of their commission.
Wait.
Okay.
Say it again.
So buyer and seller, right?
Yep.
The seller is the one who pays all of the commissions to both
Yes.
of the real estate agents, right?
Yes.
So the buyer's real estate agent, if they're really desperate to like make this sale, they will tell the buyers like, hey, if you only have $400,000 to offer on this house. To make your offer more appealing, I'm going to take $5,000 out of my commission and give it to you so you can offer 405.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so that happened to me this time.
That's really nice.
Yeah, Tatiana was great. She's like, 5K, it's all yours. This will be really make like a good offer. And it was, yeah, that's happened sometimes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds so stressful. Katie Lynn said, why would a realtor do that? Like, why would they be that desperate to sell?
Because if their commission is big enough, they skim some off the top, and it's a commission that they wouldn't make otherwise unless the offer is more attractive.
So so I guess it's like, would you rather make $30,000 versus $35,000, or would you rather make nothing?
Yeah,
like you'd rather have 30 grand over nothing.
Yeah, and this happens in New Jersey a lot. I'm not sure if it happens in other states, but it does happen here.
That's crazy. Let's see. Amanda, it's so hard out there. Homes in Philly, is that Delaware, New Jersey, are in contract within 72 hours. It's awful. I wish my agent would do that. Oh, so people are just like snapping up homes.
Oh,
Same thing with Danielle.
Ali says everything is a scam.
Everything is a scam.
Susan says, Kathleen, did you buy the house before everything exploded? Sure did. Yep. And then everything
right before.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You got lucky.
Did. Very lucky. Yeah.
Hi, Minerva.
All right. Let's see. Is there anything else on anyone's mind? Because we might wrap this up a few minutes early tonight because Bethany had a really rough night last night.
I don't feel like I'm in reality. So it's really strange.
Yeah.
Kathleen and I recorded a portion of the podcast this morning. I don't remember recording it.
Mm-hmm.
I was out last night and I didn't get to bed until 12:30 or 1 in the morning. And I cannot hang to the point where I am not well today. Like
you have a sleep hangover.
I have a sleep hangover,
mm-hmm.
which is insane. Like
mm-hmm.
The amount of, this has never happened to me before, where no amount of coffee is waking me up. I just get heart palpitations and a migraine.
Yeah.
Like I feel dehydrated. I've been chugging water all day. My eyes have been red all day from dehydration, even though I'm chugging water.
Mm-hmm.
I've been sleeping. It hasn't worked. I've been like, I thought I had COVID. I truly did. And then Kathleen was like, no, it's because you hung out last night with people. And then this morning you didn't get to sleep until 12:30 or 1. I'm such a loser. I can't hang. This is why I go to bed at 8. Otherwise I'm useless.
I truly feel you. And there's nothing worse than being hungover when you didn't even have the fun of partaking. It's like...
No, we didn't drink.
No,
I was with two sobers. So it's like...
And there are all different ways you can get a hangover. I've for sure had sugar hangovers before, 100%.
Yes. Where you feel like crap.
Or like during the holidays when you eat 10,000 holiday cookies, I wake up the next day and it hurts to even just touch my muscles hurt, everything hurts.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Aubrey said, I go to bed at 8 because I have to get up at 3:30. Honey, I know that life. We both know that life.
I don't miss it. Not a day.
Nope, never. Feel like this morning radio? No. Those hours will kill you. Benadryl hangovers are the worst. Yep, they sure are.
Yeah, fried food hangover.
Yeah, I ate half of the weed cookie and it was so strong I had a hangover the next day. Says Danielle. People hangover, I get people hangovers for sure.
Katie says 10,000 holiday cookies when all you need is a knife. All right. Well,
I want to read Gray's. Gray said I took my high school students to a 3-day theater festival. I operated in Gray, that sounds awful.
Mm-mm.
Thank you for your service to those theater students and their big feelings. Wow.
That is so funny. All right. Well, in true live show fashion, I have a little surprise for y'all. You might recognize this tune. Feel free to sing along. I might change the lyrics at some point, okay? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. We love you so much.
Just because.
Just because. Okay. Taste buds, we bid you adieu. Get to bed early, it's good for you.
Yay! That was so good, Kathleen.
Thanks, I've been practicing.
It's been showing. That was
Thank
very
you.
good. I'm very proud of you.
Thanks, Taste Buds. We love you so very much. Thanks for bitching and moaning with us all night.
Thank you. We love you. Thank you for being a support with us here, and we love you.
Goodbye.